Welcome back, all ye loners. Thank you all for coming back and watching another video here. We are glad to have you, and we just want to say we appreciate everyone who engages with our content and enjoys it. And if you haven't, please jump over to our blog channel, which is always down in the description, and just subscribe and go check out our latest video where a Vietnamese grandma took advantage of me. All right. Today this is episode 330. Today we're going to do a video. I've been wanting to do a video on this guy because I follow him a lot. His name is Gary Stevenson, and he's from the UK. And he's the one talking about how to fix the income inequality problem in the US and in the UK, pretty much in the whole Western world. But yeah, I think it's interesting what he has to say. And it's always funny to me when people start talking about this. It tends to be more socialist ideas to redistribute wealth. But it's crazy how no one questions how all the billionaires and all the rich people, they hate these people because they're telling them what should actually be done.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they label them out here.
Yeah.
I think people should have access to basic necessities like a communist.
All right, let's see what he has to say.
Now, our next guest is an interesting guy. He made squillions for himself and the company that he worked for, Citibank. But former trader Gary Stevenson turned his back on the whole lot, walked away from it as a multimillionaire at the age of 27.
Well, now he says he's fighting for a fairer economy and thinks the only way to sort out the country's finances is to tax the rich. We will be speaking to him in just a moment, but first here's Emily Malik with his story.
Gary Stevenson grew up in Ilford in London's East End. Despite being expelled from grammar school, his strong grades earned him a place at the London School of Economics. He then landed a job at Citibank after winning their card game recruitment test, quickly becoming one of their most profitable traders by betting that the economy wouldn't recover from the 2008 crash. But at just 27, disillusioned by how predictable and unfair the system had become, he walked away from his multi-million-pound career. If I'm winning, it means something is wrong. The economy shouldn't be this predictable in its failures, he writes in his book, The Trading Game. Today, Stevenson is an economist.
It is pretty insane when you look back on it. Ever since 2008, we haven't really fully recovered. And the situation has been taken advantage of by private equity firms and really big corporations. And it continues to do so, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like the middle class, lower class, they usually just find a way to adjust. And then the, top however percent you want to say, 10%, I don't know. They kind of look for ways to take advantage of lower classes and to see it as an opportunity to exploit as much as possible. Because they know that no matter how bad the economy tanks, they'll be fine. So they look for, in my opinion, it looks like they look for the opportunities to exploit people who are vulnerable. Yeah. And
it's true.
We saw it with the housing crisis, specifically in 2008.
Yep. And that's continuing now too. I think we're on the brink of not having a middle class anymore. It's pretty much people who have and people who don't have anything. Yeah.
Well, it's you're barely getting by or you're rich.
Exactly. Yeah.
Economist and public figure with a high online presence, campaigning to tax the super rich, a move he believes is essential to tackle rising inequality.
Well, Gary Stevenson joins us now. Good morning to you. Great to have you in this morning. We've got your book here, Trading Game, which sort of, charts everything that you've been through. And it's an extraordinary story, isn't it? Where you came from, the job you got, and listening there, it came down to this kind of card game recruitment thing. And that's how you got your first job that then set you on that path, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I grew up in Ilford, East London, little terraced house. Saw those skyscrapers. I grew up in Canary Wharf. I was always very good at maths. Studied maths and economics at uni, London School of Economics, and I figured I would just get...
Sorry, it's so interesting to me, the different, the different accents, and you can tell they're from different parts of the UK. I mean, it's the same thing here if you look at the South or other places.
It is very interesting though. Yeah. Keep going.
Best grades, get a job. But it turns out you need to get an internship, which means you need to have a fancy CV when you're only 19, which I didn't have. I used to work fluffing pillows at DFS in Beckton. But I found out that you could get a job through this card game, which they used to call the trading game. And I was
What
good
is
at...
that game?
It's like it's a betting style. It's supposed to be similar to trading in financial markets, but really it's a betting game. It's a maths game. I loved maths when I was a kid.
Okay, so you just play the odds basically.
Yeah, but you play the odds. But also, I write about this a lot in the book.
Strategy.
You kind of play the people. You kind of, because I studied maths with modern, like these posh math kids and economics kids, and I kind of know how they think. So I think while they were sort of focusing on the numbers, I was focusing.
Well, you see, that is like cards, isn't it?
I do think there's a difference between focusing on like patterns, and then a lot of this could be dictated by emotions too.
Yeah. I think what you see happening in the markets is all psychological.
A lot of it, yeah. And like people reacting.
Yep.
Versus just, analytical things that are taking place.
It's like reading someone's expressions, looking for the ticks, looking for the tells. The implication in the report there is that it was a breeze, that you join Citibank and you find it so easy, it's all so predictable, and you get fed up and you walk away. But it can't have been that easy, because otherwise everybody would be a multimillionaire. How come you were the guy to recognise, against a trend, that the world wouldn't recover from 2008?
Yeah.
That was your call. How did you know that?
So it wasn't a breeze. It definitely wasn't a breeze. I think the truth is that I became obsessed, really. And a big part of the book is about mental health, about my mental health. I didn't realise how much money people made in the city. I thought they made like 100 grand a year, and that was like my ambition. And then in my first year when I was 23, I got paid just under £400,000.
Damn.
And that kind of blew my mind, basically. And I became...
That is another thing in the States, too. I think London and New York specifically, people who work in finance, they make extremely high amounts of money, to where it's kind of like, is it really necessary? I don't know. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with being the best trader, being the best trader, being the best trader. And I was working in the aftermath of the 2008 crisis. And what I saw was every single year, all of these sort of posh boy traders around me were saying, next year it'll be better, next year it'll be better, next year it'll be better. But I could see, because I come from a poor background, that life wasn't getting better for ordinary people. So I started to look into what was really happening. And what I saw was, back then, 2010, 2011, I was in my early 20s. Mm-hmm. I saw an older generation, people like my parents, who could afford to own their own property. And I saw my generation that would never be able to afford that. So you see the middle class are losing their homes here. Mm-hmm. And then I was wondering, where's it going? But of course, I was sitting on this trading floor surrounded by millionaires. So I could see that what we had here was a structural crisis of growing inequality that would get worse and worse and worse.
But from a moral point of view, what you gradually came to understand, because it's obvious, is that you were making your money, and it went up a lot from 400,000 after that first year, a lot, into many millions. You were making your phenomenal fortune in your early 20s off the back of other people's misery.
Yeah, but the maddest thing is, when I grew up, it was a very immigrant culture I grew up in. It was a lot of people there want to make money, want to make something of themselves. We just wanted to... I was very poor growing up. We just wanted to make money. Then I go on the trading floor, you're surrounded by rich people who also just want to make money. And really, in 2011, I became a multimillionaire by betting that the economy would collapse forever. And they just paid me millions of pounds and said, do it again. And I think, in a sense, this is the core story of the book. Yeah. And also, what I'm trying to do with the work I do now is turn it away from the traders.
I will say, and I'm not saying this is ethical, but I do think there's a difference when you're betting against what you predict is gonna happen. He's, in my opinion, isn't forcing the outcome. There are a lot of people who have the power to force outcomes.
I get what you're saying. You're saying this is going to happen either way.
I'm saying the people who do have the power to manipulate markets and things like that, and also benefit off their manipulation, is different than being like, I'm pretty sure this group of people who have that power, it's going to evolve into X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to bet that that's what they're going to do. Yeah. It doesn't mean you endorse it. It just means you're understanding that's how you can come up from it.
That makes sense. And so I guess the way I see it is what you're saying. He's not like the people who created the situation in the first place.
From what I know very little about finance.
Yeah.
And, economics, that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen The Big Short, you should watch it. It's really good. But The people who created it was the banks who was like, you know what? Let's bet on these loans that we're giving people for mortgages. That's what created the problem.
The people giving these loans, assholes. The people, you know?
Well, the bankers betting on it.
Right.
Yeah.
But having an ulterior motive is the problem.
Yeah, 100%.
And betting on, yeah. Anyway.
I get what you're saying.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I should probably watch it.
It's a good movie.
And point that at ordinary people and show ordinary people what's happening. Because at the end of the day, the traders, and let's be honest, often the politicians, they're not the guys that get hurt when inequality increases. No. So what I'm trying to do here is tell the public what's happening.
You're campaigning now to make a change. If you were Chancellor, what would you be doing? You know, what measures do you think could make a difference with this?
You know, I've got to be honest, I get asked this question a lot. I've got to be serious with you. The message I want to send across here is this is not a temporary recession. This is not 2 bad years, 3 bad years. If we do not deal with this crisis of worsening and worsening inequality, it will get worse and worse and worse. The super rich will get richer and richer and richer, and that will push everyone else out. Welfare state will shut down, ordinary families can't buy homes. This will get massively worse. We currently have a tax system which taxes ordinary working people 30, 40, 50%, while billionaires like the Duke of Westminster inherit £10 billion and pay nothing. You need to change the tax system so that we tax ordinary working people like your viewers less and tax the rich and the super rich more. If you don't do that, they're going to eat us alive.
So put a figure on it. What kind of wealth tax would you introduce and where would the limit start?
So I want to be clear, when I'm talking about taxing the rich, it's not about income, it's not about work, it's not about bankers, lawyers, assets. God forbid, even YouTubers or TV presenters. It's about assets. Yeah. We talk about assets over 10 million, but really the problem is billionaires, people with assets of over 100 million. We say 2%, over £10 million, just on what you have above that. Lord Kinnock, former Labour leader, seems to be a supporter at the moment. We're getting a lot of supporters now.
Yeah,
but
so
I want to
he's
make
saying
it really
2%
clear.
on assets over 10 million, isn't he?
Yeah.
The issue is, though, just to say, you know, a lot of countries tried wealth taxes, Austria, Denmark, Germany, France, Luxembourg. They scrapped...
Yeah, they tried it and it seems to work. I mean, from what I read online, obviously there's always going to be people who don't agree with these things. But from what I read online and from what I look into it, the majority of people are happy with the social safety nets. They're happy with the healthcare system. They're happy with other things like that. So it's like, it is kind of working for the majority of people. I don't know.
Them because they couldn't get them to work, they didn't make the money. And the issue is, we know already a lot of millionaires are leaving the UK more than any other time at the moment, aren't they?
And I think that's why people are so afraid, especially billionaires, of Zoran, because people are like, well, you're going to push them out of our city. And it's like, a lot of what they contribute to the city, they don't need to physically be there.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, sorry, they're working outside of our door right now. They're construction people. And I'm sorry, but if it's going to push you out of the fucking city, then so be it. You're still profiting off the city, essentially.
Yeah.
And you should be paying a lot more in taxes for it. I feel like it just goes everywhere. That's like a no-brainer.
But
especially if you have luxury assets.
Yeah.
Like, luxury is a modest way of saying some of the assets these people have.
Yeah.
You don't need 16 vacation homes and 12 yachts. You don't.
Yeah.
And a spaceship to go to Mars.
Taxes are put on the wealthier people. They will just move, they will find loopholes, they will find a way around it.
I mean, again, we're not economists. I don't know for sure.
No, but I've looked into I've looked into statistics or whatever. So they did what Zoran is talking about doing in New York. They did it in Boston.
Oh, I didn't know
that. They did like the wealth tax in Boston, and it showed that like not even 1% of the wealthy people left. Like barely anyone left.
Yeah, I really don't think, if that's your biggest fear, that is such a mild ass scenario to worry about, to put your concerns in. But I will say the majority of, I don't know if Wall Street's the right, the majority of them are in New York.
Yeah, because it's a financial capital of our country.
Yeah. So I can see why they would push that argument more there than Boston, but still, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, you're there for a reason.
Yeah.
And you're whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I've got to be honest. So this data about millionaires leaving, the source of it is a little bit dodgy. We probably don't have time to talk about that. But I want to be clear. I know how this works. People like me campaign to tax the rich. When it comes in, the rich, they lobby the politicians, they get loopholes put in.
Exactly.
I always remember when the Conservatives added a tax on second home buyers, and they put an exemption in there for people who buy more than 7 at once. And then Jeremy Hunt, the health secretary, went and bought 7. Listen, it's difficult to tax the rich. I know it's difficult to tax the rich because they own the newspapers, they own a lot of the media, they're extremely powerful, and they will tell you, if you tax us, we'll leave. If you tax us, we'll leave. It didn't work for Roman Abramovich, did it? When the government decided they want to tax Roman Abramovich, it turns out that what rich people do is they own your country. Roman Abramovich owns Chelsea Football Club. We can tax them on their assets if we choose to.
And would this be an annual tax, 2% every year?
I think there's lots of ways you can do it. I think you can do it annually, you can do it every 10 years, you can do it every 50 years. And listen,
Sorry, one more thing. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe I don't know shit. I'm just talking out of my ass. But I feel like if the majority of Western countries stick to a strict policy of taxing people in a certain tax bracket for X, Y, and Z, where are they going to go? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are the places that they're going to benefit the most.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I don't know what the whole...
And they'll adjust too. They force us to adjust every time they make huge decisions. They can adjust.
But it's because...
there are loopholes. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. Sorry. But like there's tons of loopholes they can get through. Like we all know no matter what policies are enforced, they're going to find a way around some of it. So it's, in my opinion, not that serious to tax them a couple % more. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Finish what you were saying.
No, I mean... In reality, it's true because the people who don't have as much always have to kind of deal with
make up for it.
Yeah, and
then we bail them out. I'm speaking for as an American.
No, it's true in pretty much all the Western world. There's socialism for very wealthy people and billionaires that get bailed out all the time, and banks. Yeah.
Religious about the exact way that we do it. I am somebody who has made millions of pounds betting if you don't do this, your society will collapse. And people like me get paid millions of pounds a year to not come on shows like this and tell you what's happening. And I've walked away from millions of pounds a year to come and to speak to you and to write this book and to do my YouTube, Gary's Economics, and to tell the public that this gets worse if you don't deal with it. There's lots of different ways you can deal with it. I want the public, I want Labour politicians to have to talk to me. But they only talk to me because the public supports me. And now they do email me. They email me because of the public support. I'm telling you this now, the politicians will not do this themselves because they are getting richer and it is the public that are getting poorer. And that is why I woke up at 4:45 a.m. today to come here to tell the public what's happening.
Sorry.
OK. Well, that's all we've got time for, but it's fascinating to talk to you.
And just a clarification, because Abramovich has released in a statement back in 2022, he sold the club because of the ongoing situation in Ukraine. So just to clear up the situation.
You replied to me very quickly there.
Him specifically. Thank you very much. It was great to have you in and great to have you on board this morning.
Do you want to hear what the Treasury said? Treasury spokesperson has told us tax decisions are taken at the budget. And as you would expect, we are not going to comment on tax speculation. We've made our manifesto promises to protect working people, and we took the decision last autumn to deliver the change the British people voted for.
We will wait to see if they're listening to you, won't we? Anyway, Gary, thanks very much.
Let's read some of these comments.
Always baffles me that people get more upset about extremely wealthy people paying a bit more tax than children going without food. Yep. And that's what's happening right now. I mean, we're going to have almost $1 trillion cut to our Medicaid system. We're going to have a lot of money cut from SNAP, which is the food benefit system for lower income families. Yep. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of hospitals here are going to see
they're going to have to shut down.
Change.
Yeah.
A lot of public ones. Especially in rural areas, which is really sad because, I mean, data shows those are the places that
voted for
thought
him.
This was completely going to benefit them somehow.
They rely on people not understanding things. Like, I know a lot of people probably don't realize that Medicaid funds so many of the hospitals. And
it's because a lot of Medicaid in states are under different titles.
Yeah.
They don't realize that falls under Medicaid just because it's not called this because you're in this state. No shit. It's not going to be called the same thing as it is in the state next to you.
It's true.
So they just assume it's not this anyway. Yeah. Hey, being a bigot is pretty expensive in this country.
Yeah, but I mean, this is going to affect everyone. Like, hospital bills are going to go up. So a lot of people's health insurance is going to go up next year because
I'm pretty sure the majority of this country.
Yeah, but it's also what I'm saying is I was looking at this video and like even people who don't have like affordable healthcare or whatever it is, like all healthcare premiums are going to go up because Medicaid helps alleviate a lot of the costs to hospitals.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're wondering how that makes sense, it doesn't.
Why they're cutting it. Yeah.
Beautiful, dumb bitch ass bill that they just signed. And to put the little icing and cherry on top, some judge recently signed this bill that now medical debt will be reported to your credit, which medical debt for the past few years has been one of the only things that they were not allowed to show on your credit report here, because knock on wood, like, anyone's one emergency away from being into tons of medical debt. So the only debt that would show against you for creditors to see was like school, car, mortgage, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because those are all technically like decisions you're making versus, you know, knock on wood, you have a life-threatening disease and you're in the hospital for a certain amount of time and you need to pay that or you die.
Yeah.
So things are getting worse is what I'm saying over here.
And you also
Anyway,
have our president covering up a pedophile ring too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure
that he's a part of. Okay, we're done.
All right.
See you next
Yes. Make sure to like and subscribe.
next video.